Can you imagine a place on the internet where you could buy a rocket launcher, pure cocaine, fake passports, or even hire a hitman, all with just one click? It wasn't science fiction. It wasn't a myth. It was AlphaBay, a black market so massive that at its peak, it sold more than Amazon in some countries. Its founder, a 26-year-old living like a millionaire in Thailand. But that life was about to end. This isn't a Netflix series. This is real. And you're about to uncover the story of the largest criminal empire on the dark web and how it was taken down from the inside. The birth of the darknet. In the early 2010s, three technologies changed everything. 1. TOR, anonymous browsing. 2. Bitcoin, untraceable money. 3. Marketplaces, decentralized platforms. The first was Silk Road, but it fell. Many others followed. The darknet grew like a hydra, cut off one head, and 3 more would grow. Some used it to fight dictatorships, others to hide from the system, but many used it to traffic anything and everything. The rise of AlphaZero 2. Alexandre Cazes, born in 1991 in Canada, was a computer prodigy. At 14, he was already breaching servers. By 18, he was selling cybersecurity services on dark forums. But he had something far more dangerous than talent, an enormous ego and a need for control. In 2014, under the alias AlphaZero 2, he launched a hidden site on the TOR network, AlphaBay. In less than a year, it became the most powerful black market in the world. What was AlphaBay? AlphaBay worked like the Amazon of illegal goods, accessed through TOR, paid with Bitcoin and Monero. And you could buy everything: drugs, firearms, malware, stolen credit cards, fake IDs, banking data. At its peak, over 400,000 active users, more than 40,000 vendors, up to 15,000 daily transactions, all run from the laptop of a young man in a luxury villa in Bangkok. He lives surrounded by Lamborghinis, infinity pools, living 2 lives, husband by day, Romeo in darknet forums by night. The business model of crime. AlphaBay didn't sell anything directly. Cases simply took a 2% to 4% commission from every sale. That brought in between $500,000 and $1 million per week, all in crypto. No taxes, no regulations. By age 25, he already had properties in Thailand, Cyprus, and Canada. Over $23 million in crypto wallets. Multiple fake identities. But like every digital criminal, he made a human mistake. The fatal error. Every empire falls through a crack. In this case, it was an email. In December 2016, an FBI agent in Fresno received a tip. pimp_Alex_91 at hotmail.com. Ridiculous. But the email showed up in AlphaBay's automated welcome messages. Someone had saved one and handed it over to authorities. The FBI tracked down old forums, social media, forgotten accounts. And it all pointed to one thing. AlphaZero 2 equals Alexandre Cazes. Old photos, same alias, same hometown, Quebec. Everything led to a young man living in Bangkok. They had him. Operation Bayonet, the plan to destroy it from within. Agencies from the US, Canada, Thailand, Germany, the Netherlands, Lithuania, and more joined forces. The FBI knew that arresting cases wasn't enough. They wanted to dismantle the digital crime economy itself. The plan: secretly take control of a rival market, Hansa Market. Dutch police didn't shut it down. They took it over, quietly, for 1 month. They intercepted servers, captured admins, monitored every single message and transaction. Then, they pulled the plug on AlphaBay without warning, just as planned. Thousands of desperate users fled, straight into the police-controlled Hansa. The perfect trap. It was a masterstroke. Buyers and sellers trusted Hansa, unaware it was a trap. Authorities tracked shipping addresses, identified real-world drug traffickers, mapped entire digital crime networks. For weeks, they gathered evidence. And on July 20th, 2017, came the final blow. A coordinated takedown of AlphaBay and Hansa Market. At a press conference, the FBI announced, "This is the largest international strike against digital crime ever conducted." The arrest of cases, July 5th, 2017, Bangkok. There was one key requirement. They had to catch him with his laptop, open and unlocked. If he closed it, everything would be lost. Suddenly, a loud crash breaks the silence of the night. A car slams into his front gate. It was a Thai agent faking an accident right outside his house. Kayses steps outside, calmly, laptop still open. He thinks it's just an accident. He doesn't know. It's the end. He's immediately surrounded. Outside, agents from the FBI, DEA, the Europol police, and 7 different countries are waiting. In seconds, he's arrested. Agents storm the villa. His laptop is still open. They now had full access to servers, wallets, passwords, encrypted chats. In that moment, AlphaBay ceased to exist. The king had fallen. A quiet or forced end. A week later, Kayses was found dead in his jail cell in Thailand. The official cause, suicide by hanging with a towel. But something didn't add up. No suicide note. He was about to be extradited. He had enough funds for bail and millions in crypto. His wife denied it was suicide. Some investigators believe he was silenced. By who and why? The truth is, the case was closed, without trial or confession. The monster returns. In 2021, a message appeared on hidden forums. AlphaBay is back, stronger, safer. The author, the Snake, a former AlphaBay moderator, the new AlphaBay, only accepts Monero, has no centralized servers, built to resist sabotage. But is it really the Snake or a government trap? No one knows. But one thing's clear, digital crime didn't die. It just evolved. Can the darknet ever die? Kayses fell, AlphaBay collapsed. But since then, dozens of similar markets have been born. Because the real issue is in the darknet. It's censorship, the war on drugs, uncontrolled demand, the human need for anonymity. As long as those forces exist, someone, somewhere, will build the next empire from a laptop. Alexandre Kayses was a genius, a criminal, and a dark reflection of our digital age. His story wasn't just a crime case, it was a mirror showing how far ambition can go when no one sets limits. If this story impacted you, subscribe, like, and tell us. Was it justice or a cover-up? This was Drakonomic, and this was the story of AlphaBay, the digital empire the world tried to erase.